Hey guys, what's going on? It's Codiak here, back for another video, and yes, we are talking about legendaries again, but wait, before you click off the video, you're going to want to stick around, because there is a slew of new legendaries coming out in patch 7.1.5 in the Legion expansion of World of Warcraft. Now, I'm not talking about a minor legendary here or there. I'm talking about 3 new legendaries for every single class, plus some awesome new shared legendaries that you are definitely not going to want to miss. I'm not going to cover every single one in depth, but I will put them all on the screen from what we know right now. These are changing, these are definitely not finalized. There has been no official creed from Blizzard saying these are the legendaries, they're not changing anymore, that's it. But let's just dive in. Let's just see why these legendaries are going to be game changers. As you can see, each set of legendaries really increases the output of a character. The output is what's really important to raiders specifically. Can my character do more damage? Can my character do more healing? And that was the weird thing with the legendaries that were in the game now, because there are some very good output legendaries, but there are also more utility, defensive legendaries that don't add to your output. And now, I'm not saying that every mythic raider should only focus on output, that any raider should just focus on output. A raider should be able to adapt on the fly, be defensive, offensive, should be able to be utility. They should be able to be everything. But at the end of the day, people look at numbers on paper, and numbers on paper amount to your output, right? So we all know that I play a hunter, so I'm obviously interested in the hunter legendary. So let's just take a look at what's going to change for the hunter right now. Well, we've got 3 legendaries coming out for the hunter: the Mantle of Command, the PH Survival Legendary NYI, and the Mark II Gyroscopic Stabilizer. Now let's just focus on the marksmanship one for a quick second, because that's currently the spec that I'm playing. It's currently the spec that's best suited for raids. So let's take a look at why it's so good. Your aim shots grant you gyroscopic stabilization, increasing the critical strike chance of your next aim shot by 20% and making it castable while moving. Now, when I talk about output, guys, this is an output / utility legendary. There's obviously the increased crit strike chance of my next aim shot by 20%. So just to paint you guys a picture for those of you who don't play a hunter, mark shot and aim shot are our 2 damage dealing abilities. Obviously there's sidewinders and wind burst and things like that, but aim shot and mark shot are the 2 shots that are going to output for my character. So giving me a 20% increased chance to crit, plus giving me that extra ability to move while casting, is something that is definitely missing from the hunter arsenal. Because if you don't know, in HFC, our set bonus gave us aim shots where we didn't have to cast them. Everything was mobile. So that was a great set. And obviously they're kind of hinting at kind of a resurgence of that in this legendary here, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Now, going down the list, there are just so many good legendaries. I'm talking things that are going to increase your output. I'm going to say it again. Output at the end of the day is what most people look at, because it's numbers on paper. Obviously, if you're dying during a fight, you're not doing any output. So that's on you as a raider, as a player. But these legendaries are going to change the game. Now, the question that I have to ask you guys, as always, is, okay, there's already a slew of legendaries in the game. Are adding more legendaries going to help the system, or are they just going to dilute the waters? Because 3 new legendaries that really are going to be game changers for each class doesn't mean that the other legendaries are going away. And that also includes shared legendaries. So let me just talk about the quick changes to shared legendaries. So there are 2 changes coming to the Suffuzes and the Magnus Opus, I believe it is, where the Suffuzes is going to be able to proc off of an interrupt, and then you have your shield legendary there that's going to proc every 30 seconds. So there are changes coming to those, but there are also 3 new shared legendaries: the Archimonde's Infinite Command, Kil'jaeden's Burning Wish, and Velen's Future Sight. So let's just dive into those really quick. First, we'll look at Archimonde's Infinite Command. Gain an absorbed shield for 50% of your maximum health for 10 seconds. When the shield is consumed or expired, 100% of the damage absorbed is dealt to nearby enemies, split evenly. This is an on-use trinket. You've got main stat, versatility, and mastery. So it is a decent legendary. I wouldn't be upset if I got this, but it definitely goes back to kind of almost that ring, right? The ring from HFC. You pop this shield for 50% of your maximum health. You have 10 seconds, and when the shield is consumed, it expires, dealing 100% of the damage. Not the best legendary in the world, but you know, it definitely could fit into a playstyle or a raid situation, depending. Now let's look at the next one, Kil'jaeden's Burning Wish. Again, we have main stat, we have crit, haste, and mastery. On the on-use command, on-use effect for this legendary, fire a vortex of destruction that seeks your current enemy. When it reaches the target, it explodes, dealing 862,800 fire damage to all nearby enemies within 10 yards. It's a minute and 15-second cooldown. So it's, again, a decent legendary, some decent main stats on there, obviously. Always good on a trinket, some decent secondary stats. The on-use is pretty good, close to 1,000,000 damage to all nearby enemies within 10 yards of the targeted enemy. So a very strong AoE trinket. That minute 15-second cooldown is pretty low, so you are going to be able to use that multiple times throughout the fight if you're using it on CD. But as we all know, AoE fights, things come out in waves. Things don't always perpetuate. So that minute and 15 seconds may look... it may sound great on paper, but at the end of the day, who knows where the output's going to be coming from. If you're having a super ad-heavy fight, that may be a great trinket legendary that you want to have. But at the end of the day, it may not stack up against your class's specific legendaries. And finally, guys, let's look at the last one here, Velen's Future Sight. Again, a 9/10 legendary trinket. Main stat, crit, and mastery, and the on-use command increase all healing done by 10% and causes all overhealing on players to be redistributed to up to 3 nearby injured allies for 10 seconds. Again, another minute and 15-second cooldown. So a decent healing trinket. Some healers will have their eye on this, especially if they're more of an healing class. But again, is it going to stack up against your class's legendary? That is the real question. And that's the question, again, I pose to you guys. Are we just diluting the water at this point? Is the system going to be affected in a positive way or a negative way? And this is where we need your help. Recently, there was a poll on Reddit that sampled close to 8,000 players in the World of Warcraft about legendary items. And I took that poll, I reworked some of the questions, I included a lot of the questions. Hats off to the original creator of the poll, because we want to get some serious data about this. Serious data about how long people are playing, how many legendaries they have, where they've gotten their legendaries, so that we can look at the information, at the data, and say, okay, this is what's happening. This is what is good about this. This is what is not good about this. And we want to hear from you guys. Again, a slew of new legendaries. Check them out. They are all on Wowhead. And remember, they are changing. They may not be 100% accurate by the time they get live in the game. So do not hold me as the gospel. Things change in this game. But again, the link for the poll is in the description below. Please check it out. Please upvote it. Let's get it exposed to the entire WoW community so we can get some serious data and serious opinions about where the legendaries are dropping, how they're dropping, and how often they're dropping. Because we want to hold Blizzard accountable for putting items like legendary items in the game. Things that are going to change our entire gameplay, our core output, our core rotation, things that are going to change how we operate our characters, and Blizz should be held accountable to that. Blizz should take full responsibility, and they have. I'm not bashing them in any way, shape, or form. They wanted to bring back legendaries in a big way, and they have. They need to figure it out now, and we need to help them. So, again, a slew of new legendaries coming out. Please help us out by clicking on the link in the description below, filling out the quick Reddit poll, upvoting it so it gets lots of exposure. And hey guys, leave us a comment. I know the last video we did got a ton of traction, and we want to see that going again, because there are a lot of big legendaries that are about to come into the game that are going to shake things up in a massive way, and we need your help, our loyal followers of the Exiled Power YouTube channel. So that's all I've got, guys. Make sure to check out all of the legendaries coming in 7.1.5. Leave us a comment below. If you like the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. For now, my name is Codiak, raid leader for Exiled Power, and we will see you next time.